jump into it right now. I did pull up one of our responses just because it's pretty thorough. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Drew. Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up, like a real one, or we know how to press those. You get like some reactions buttons that you can press and give thumbs up that way. We know about those. McKinley does, and Drew does. So if hopefully more people beyond McKinley and Caleb and Drew can see my screen. Question number 3 is one of the trickier ones that we will cover, and it's going to come up again. I guess I can put it all on your radars right now that we're going to have a quiz on weather 1 week from today. So if you're a person, remember way back in the normal classroom days on Mondays, we would do This Week in Science. I haven't really done that, but if you're a planner ahead kind of person, put next week on Monday as a day to remember. We're gonna have a quiz on weather, and we'll cover this stuff on humidity. And I'll also be quizzing you about clouds. We'll review clouds today. And then we're gonna get into the idea of fronts and pressure systems as well. That'll be later this week. We will have a review through Kahoot. And beyond that, your notes and these conclusion questions are going to be really great sources of review. So question number 3 says, which kind of air typically has a higher relative humidity, hot air or cold air? And for this one, we really need to look at graph 2. Graph 2 showed us that at lower temperatures, we were in the neighborhood of 100% saturation, or really high humidity values. So when I read this answer here from Tate, it says cold air typically has higher relative humidity. So he's answering the first part. And then he goes on to the explanation. He says, because when you heat air up, and this part's really important, and don't add any more vapor, it's like increasing the denominator. So, you know, I hate to use this global pandemic that we're in as a good example, but it's kind of example worthy, because right now one of the big questions about the coronavirus is just how lethal is it? How harmful is it? If we don't know what our denominator value is in terms of the number of people infected, then it's really hard to get a percentage. So say, for example, the number of people that have been infected by the coronavirus is really, really big. We grow our denominator. So anytime we grow the denominator portion of finding a percentage, that tends to shrink our overall percentage, because we have to do division in order to calculate a percentage. So again, maybe not the greatest connection between coronavirus, but it's all about percentages. So Tate says anytime we grow the denominator value without adding to the numerator value, our percentage shrinks. If that math stuff is hard to follow, I would again go back to Thursday's live lesson demo, where I had a really small cup and I filled it all the way up. It was 100% saturated. And then I grew the denominator value. I grew it to a larger and larger cup, which means it can hold more and more, but I didn't add more vapor. I didn't add more water. So it looked less and less saturated. So a review from last week, something that will be on the quiz. I'm happy to take questions right now if you have them about this idea of relative humidity. If there are not questions on this, whether you ask them aloud or type them, we're going to go into our review of clouds, which is also related to humidity. Any questions coming up? All right. So hopefully everybody got a chance to do this lesson. A lot of it was review. Some of it is very elementary, but some of it is the math, not the math, the science that I want to stick with. When we go from this slide, so we're going to take a look at slide 12 right now, and I'll call on some of you to help me move these cloud types to where they belong. After we review this slide, we're going to go to the notes that I posted, which again, a little bit blurry. I'll try and clear them up. But there's three big categories of clouds that we start with. So last week we studied humidity. We made a cloud in a jar. It's all connected. Clouds are basically areas where water has gone from a gas back to a liquid. Clouds, we could very safely say, are places where the relative humidity is 100%. Water is condensing out of a gas back to a liquid. So clouds are very unique, and they form in different ways and at different levels of the atmosphere, and they form different shapes. So we have all of these different words. And instead of asking you to memorize 8 or 10 or 12 different cloud types, if we can just narrow it down to 3 or 4 or 5 words, then we should know what the cloud means. So is there anybody out there that could tell me what the word cumulus means? Like if I'm talking about a cumulus cloud, the word cumulus itself has some meaning to it. Cumulo is a prefix that means what? Anybody know?
To accumulate, to build.
Okay, good. So cumulo is like cumulate. It's a cloud that means like heaping or puffy. So if you have notes right now in front of you, notes that look like, wait for it, this. So here's my foldable. We used to make this on paper. The heading cumulo or cumulus, when we open up to the inside, we have this word here. The prefix cumulo or cumulus means heaping or puffy. And these clouds can usually be related to storm clouds. So everybody is probably familiar with the cumulonimbus cloud. It's one that we like to refer to a lot. We have the prefix cumulo in there. That's related to this first cloud type. Even if you don't have this document projected right now, 7th graders, I would encourage you to take your own notes. We're just laying the groundwork for our common prefixes when it comes to clouds. The first one is this one, cumulo or cumulus. And as Victoria said, those mean our heaping clouds. They're puffy. They look like cotton. How about the word strato or stratus? Somebody besides Victoria.
Layering.
Good. So our prefix strato or stratus, don't worry too much about the ending. Going back to the notes here that are basically done. They're all filled in. It would be up to you to add any extra ideas, and I will present a few extra ideas. Our middle section is for strato or stratus clouds. These typically are lower in the atmosphere, associated with precipitation. The word strato or stratus means layer. And then our last main category of cloud type is cirro or cirrus. Anybody got a meaning for the word cirro or cirrus? Somebody besides McKinley or Victoria?
Curly.
Yep. And these, it's really important to know that straight up cirro or cirrus clouds form high in the atmosphere. Ethan, these notes are posted to today's Google Doc, by the way.
Okay.
You can stack that is.
Oh.
Is anybody else having trouble accessing these notes? Here's what I would say so far, 7th graders. If you have just this bottom section, that cumulo means heaping or puffy, strato means layer, cirro means curl or curly, that's a good start. If you have access to these notes and you can see everything that I see, then that's great too. So then when we go back to slide 12, we can start to organize some of these three main ones. How about, let's see here. Steve, where should I put this one?
You put it in the middle.
Let's see if it goes in the middle. Oh, sorry, I was distracted by something McKinley posted. Yes, McKinley. Try again, Steve.
Low.
We'll try low. Uh-oh.
Vertical.
Okay, so cumulus clouds like to be a little bit tall, so we could add that to our notes. Steve, give this one a try. How about cirrus?
High.
There we go. So these are our high ice crystal clouds. And then stratus, Aiden McKenzie, where can I put stratus? Where do you think stratus goes? Aiden? Got a guess? How about Kellen Miller?
Low.
We're going to put those in low. Excellent. All right. I saw a question. Where did my, oh no. Says the how it form boxes are really hard to read. Is it important information that we need? Is anybody else besides Ella having a tough time seeing that portion of the notes that says how it's formed? You could just do a hand raise. If you're looking at this top part of the notes, I can just read these to you right now. Cumulus clouds. So this kind of goes to what we just did with these first three cloud types on slide 12. Cumulus clouds form a little bit higher in the atmosphere when warm air with vapor rises, cools, and condenses. Kellen just told us that stratus clouds form the same way, only lower in the atmosphere. And then on the far right here, cirrus clouds also form with air rising, cooling, vapor condensing, but this time the difference is that it happens so high in the atmosphere that instead of water droplets, we have ice crystals. That's the unique characteristic of a cirrus cloud. Ella, does that help? You can give me a thumbs up or type in the comment or the chat. Where's Ella? Better? What kind of clouds do we have outside today? Can anybody look out their window? See out the window? What kind of clouds do you think we have today?
Nimbostratus.
I have stratus too, yeah.
I would say something scratching the surface of these three main cloud types. It's got to definitely have the word stratus in it. There's a layer of clouds as far as I can see. So layer, stratus. So now let's start to bring in some of these other prefixes. And these, I see 2 additional words, Greek words. These are all Greek and Latin words that are not in my notes. So this is where I'm going to ask you to maybe go above and beyond and add the word alto and the word nimbo to your notes on your own.
So the clouds that we have today, would they more be like a stratocumulus?
Well, let's answer that question after we find out what all of these prefixes mean. 2 more that I want to share, and then we'll answer that question.
Okay.
Are there any music people out there that know what the word alto means? Because we use the word alto in music too.
I do.
Isn't that middle?
Low.
Steve, what were you?
Low.
Well, I think it's low, but I think it's low.
So we're going to save the lower for, McKinley had it first. Altos usually are somewhere in the middle. So where can I put this one right here? How about Ethan Ricky? Where can I put alto stratus? Based on what we just said.
Middle.
Yep. So now we're starting to smash 2 Greek words together to really describe the cloud. How would you describe what an alto stratus cloud looks like? How about Tori Stout?
Well, it's in the middle, so, and then also we can explain because the higher clouds are kind of like more like spread out, and then the lower, they're kind of more pushed together.
So, sure, exactly. The part that you said is true about the middle. Alto means middle. The simple thing that we could say about this cloud is that it's in the middle of the atmosphere and it's layered. There's another prefix that I want you to know, and it's in this cloud type here. It's the word nimbo, N-I-M-B-O. So this will be the last word that I want you to know as it refers to cloud types. Does anybody know what the prefix nimbo or nimbus means?
Tall or high?
There's actually another meaning that we want to associate with the word nimbo or nimbus. So that idea of keeping or vertical or puffy, we're going to save that for cumulo, like accumulating. What does the word nimbo mean? Like a nimbostratus cloud is probably what we have today because something's supposed to happen. And if I look at a cumulonimbus cloud, well, what comes out of a cumulonimbus cloud? Any ideas on what nimbo or nimbus means?
It means it could be like cloudy or rainy or like possibly have a thunderstorm.
All right, so just to keep it very simple, nimbo means some sort of precipitation. Nimbo is going to be a prefix that refers to something falling out of the cloud. So a nimbostratus cloud, like this one here, is so this goes back to Braden's question. Sorry, that needs to go to low. To be as specific as we can, we'll probably have nimbostratus clouds at some point today. Maybe stratus right now, but the clouds that we have today are likely to produce precipitation. So we add the word nimbo or nimbus to it. Wasn't that a Harry Potter thing, by the way? Wasn't that the name of his? I'm not a Harry Potter guy. Can somebody fact check me on that? What about so now we can start to put this all together. Where does a cirrostratus cloud go? Any guesses on that one?
Hi. Yeah.
Yep.
You beat me to it, Leah. Dang it.
So a cirrostratus cloud is just a high layered cloud. We combine cirro and stratus. How about a stratocumulus? What would a stratocumulus cloud be like? Where should I put this one?
Middle.
Not middle,
Low.
low. So a stratocumulus cloud would be layered and heaping. How about an altocumulus? What does the prefix alto mean? How about Maddox?
It would go in middle.
Yep. How about cirrocumulus? Isaiah, where could I put cirrocumulus? Cirro is high up. Cumulus means puffy. Wish I could take this out of the box and make it bigger again. And then this last one here, everybody's favorite cloud type because they produce big thunderstorms. Luke, where can cumulonimbus go? Luke.
Oh, sorry, vertical.
Okay.
Excellent.
Oh, excellent job.
Stratus and nimbostratus clouds are low clouds.
All right, so we'll mute that guy. So here's the point I would like to make as we wrap up. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different cloud types. As opposed to you having to memorize 10 different cloud types, I would rather you know 5 different Greek prefixes and their meanings. So if you know what cumulus and stratus and cirrus, if you know what these 3 words mean, and then if you've gone above and beyond and you've added the meanings of the word alto and the word nimbo, if you know those 5, then you know any combination that we can put the 5 together. And I could make up a cloud type and say, oh, tell me what a strato-alto nimbus cloud is. Well, you could probably tell me that it's a layered, mid-level, precipitation-producing cloud. Something like that. Does anybody have any questions on the notes? Slide number 12. anything like that? Okay. So the big thing for this week is that we're going to start to transition into a review mode. I am going to present a couple of new ideas to you tomorrow. We'll review them on Wednesday, and then on Friday, which Friday will be a live lesson as well, where we're just going to review for the quiz. So there's not going to be any big assignments this week. It's mostly just getting into a review mode. Make sure you have good notes on hand for humidity. Again, your do conclusions, which some of you need to get to me still. And then we'll present a couple new ideas tomorrow and Wednesday. If you want to hang around to get any help with do conclusions, stick around. Otherwise, that's it for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job, 7th graders.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You.